I'm kidding. Wait.
I'm ready. We can do this.
I haven't had that much coffee.
I'm gonna have to run to the store at some point during the 8 hours to get caffeine, but we can make this work.
Yes. All right. Well, right before this broadcast, I finished editing the podcast and uploading. Finished a video which I'll upload after this.
Man, you've been productive today.
Oh, I'm hearing something. Who put it on YouTube? Is that you?
Say what?
Oh, okay. I was. Okay. It works. Okay, yeah. Podcast, video, starting this up. Yeah, I'm on a mission. I say a bit on my podcast and video, but I'll tell you and anyone listening and watching later. I had a conversation with my girl Lisa, and essentially, I'm so unorganized. I'm trying to find my Neon Eden page. Here. This was a phone sketch for anyone wondering what the hell that is. Yeah.
I was wondering.
Bright Eyes cover.
What's that?
I know you were. That?
Yeah.
That's Bright Eyes cover from the webcomic.
Nice.
You didn't see it? You didn't go to my webcomic page? I am so destroyed.
Well, it is distorted. I didn't see the cover to it, so.
This is.
So between the two of them.
It's my Neon Eden pages.
Nice.
They're so big. Okay, so let me tell my story before I lose my mind. Yeah, so I had a conversation with Lisa, and it's not exactly a heck of a lot of time to make a huge difference. But plan is, if I can conceivably make some kind of a difference between now and Tuesday with all that I do, and not necessarily bringing in money, but make some kind of solid progress of possibilities of
Sure.
stuff
Right.
actually advancing somewhere.
Right.
That I could, conceivably avoid getting a day job.
That would be nice.
So, my mission is to do this full time. And even if it doesn't work out by Tuesday, I'm still, going forward, trying to make that happen, regardless,
Yeah, that's the dream of it.
Yeah. The good thing is that I don't have to make a ton. Let me see if this. I'm working on a black desk that shines in people's faces, I'm sure. On to those. What do I need? I would have gotten to this earlier, but I've just been doing 100 other things. So I'm doing it live. I hope you people are entertained. Oh, here's a page. This might be it. Yes. This is, what am I doing? If you can see this. Let's see. Oh, my thing's on backwards. Well, that's no good. I just realized.
Oops.
Oops. I wonder if I could change my settings. Well, yeah, I'm doing that, I think. And here's some paper I'm using. I thought I'm going to get a lot done here, depending on how this show goes and whatnot.
This will be kind of interesting because I don't think I've ever watched anybody work traditionally. You know what I mean?
No. Well, it's a lot more people doing digital, yeah. So. Go ahead, talk.
I got nothing to say. I'm bad about working and talking at the same time. Like I got the page going up tomorrow, so that's then my focus really starts to narrow, and then I try and keep a train of thought while operating the pen, and it's just it's tough. It's not a skill that I've really ever developed very much.
Oh. Well, let me tell you a little story. What?
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's I was kind of home for a couple more people early at least, so that I wouldn't have to feel like I had to talk more.
No, you were my audience. Let's see. I used to, when I worked at Valiant, back when, after Barry Smith was there, back when Bob Layton was in charge, it was the greatest experience working for a publisher in regards to it being a studio environment unlike anything else that exists. I think maybe CrossGen was similar, but I never worked there.
Ron Mars. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And definitely Defiant was similar. But for anyone that doesn't know, essentially, it's a floor on an office building in Manhattan, New York, where pencilers, inkers, colorists, letterers, writers, editors, production, everybody worked in the same office. And it took up a whole floor of a pretty big building. So we all worked around each other, and lots of people talked while they worked.
See, I would love to have to be able to do that. This is cool, and I hope that we start getting a bunch of people in. But I'd love to be able to be in that kind of environment in real life, just because I get so few opportunities to work with other artists right there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me see about that then. I don't want to do that. What I can do is... All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll talk while I do this, so you don't feel shy.
I'll chime in if I've got something. Just don't be surprised if I'm silent for good long stretches of time while I do stuff. I'm listening.
Yeah. I'm just busting your balls.
All right.
So I'm gonna post the link for people to watch. and also get to invite more people or see where everybody's at, see if they got the link and all that jazz. All right. Noises. Man, I the podcast I did was with Steve Ogden. He's, webcomic maker and works for sort of a video game company. It's more advertising than anything. But he was typing during the interview, doing two things at once, I guess.
Is that some kind of sorcery?
Like, how the holy hell? Some kind of sorcery.
Yeah.
How is he capable of doing that? I have no idea.
No, that's I read an article once where Alex Ross was doing an interview, like while he was drawing and while he was talking to people on the phone, like with a headset, like getting like negotiating a contract or something. And I'm like reading this, I'm like, how the hell is that even possible?
Yeah, it's I guess. He's just done the art so many times. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it looks like it works. Cool. This is so awesome. Technology, man.
Technology is awesome.
Technology is awesome.
When you can get
when you can get it to work. When the big buttons in your face start making sense. All right, let's see. Post. Okay, how do I do that? I guess I go here. That's the event. Alright, so here's the link to the event, hence Hangout. We start tracking people down.
Don't let them escape.
But you said... let's see, who can join? Don't know if Jason can make it. Then you go, Jason, inviting you. There's a girl, Lisa Butts. Great name.
I'm
not sure if like.
I had some friends with that last name, and I felt so sorry for them.
On G+, she's Lisa Jones Butts. I think, she goes by that name because it's easy to remember, as opposed to it actually being her name.
Yeah, I gotcha. Weird pseudonym, but it works.
Yeah. It's short. Some people's last names are long and unpronounceable. Mr. Gress.
That's actually not even the worst pronunciation I've heard. I know that you were exaggerating for comic effect, but
Yes.
I straight up have heard worse than that.
I,
When I was in middle school, I got called down to the office for something, and I swear to God, the dean just straight up gave up in the middle of trying to pronounce it. It's just like Grassahoochie. I'm like, there's not there's not even an O in there. What the hell? But yes, I've come to accept over the course of my life that my name is just a big pile of letters, and I don't get upset when people don't pronounce it even close to right anymore.
Grass Eshi.
Ski, actually.
Ski. Grass.
Yeah.
Grass Eski.
It's the Italian CHI. Graseschi.
Graseschi.
Yeah.
Okay. I could say it now, but don't ask me in 3 minutes.
Do not worry about it, man.
Okay, let's see. This might be easier. Okay. Okay, here it's working. Okay, I need my greats. Thank God I separated friends. I'm just going to invite a whole bunch of people, and if 3 show up, then that's better than 2.
This is true. Well, maybe we'll get lucky. A whole mess of them will show up.
Let's see, Joanna. See, I know a lot more people just use Facebook, so I'm not sure who hangs out on G+. Although people might get messages.
Yeah, I've got a few people I follow on G+, but I'm never on it, so I don't even see what they post, and like nobody I know uses G+ primarily, so.
Yeah.
I did have one friend that was just like, you know what, screw Facebook, I'm done with this, I'm just going to G+, y'all can follow me there, and then now he went back to post on Facebook all the time because nobody went with him.
Yeah, somebody said something. Oh, okay. What did I say there? Okay, Lisa gave a thumbs up. I hope she gets on.
She's stuck at work.
I don't know. All right, invites going out. Potluck. Whoever will show will show. I swear I had like 5 people, but you know, people got things to do.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Like, I was worried for second night out to bail out of this one too because stuff came up at work and I thought I might have to stay late. And I'm like, dang nabbit, I don't want to miss another one.
Well, what John is talking about is we have a secret group on Facebook. And I want to get together with the gang for chats. And so far it didn't work out, but it will.
It's all a matter of tenacity.
Yes. I am nothing but, I tell you. So yeah, for the people from the far-flung future watching this, I'm sure you could just skip ahead. No, don't skip ahead. That's not nice. Yeah, I did this pretty successfully twice, even though this is episode 4. The second time around, I did it. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody showed up, and I just did commission layouts of commissions I still have yet to get to, and that was so long ago. I should slap myself, but it will all work out. I know I got a couple of commissions. I'm going to be doing a Storm from the X-Men. My choice of costume and I guess era, because there's a number of different looks for Storm. But she's definitely a fun character.
It's all that cape, I think.
Yeah, there were
That
times
cape?
when there wasn't a cape, but
Yeah, I don't like any of those much, and I know that's like includes Mohawk Storm that everybody loves, but I love that cape. That connecting to the wrist is just such a great look.
yeah.
I'm a nerd.
So. It's okay, Joel.
That was more declarative than anything else.
All right, so I'm posting on Facebook the group to the link to the actual Hangout. Do it. Somebody's shared the video post. We got 0 viewers. Come on, people. Look at me.
I don't think they can hear you. They're not in the room. Sharing this.
John's sharing it.
Well, I'm out of control. You don't know what I'm going to do next.
Uh-oh. Don't you dare put my name in it.
What?
don't you tag me in the post.
I don't think you can stop me. I don't think you can stop me, brother.
He's out of control.
I'm a rebel.
Rebel with a cause. All right, let me look into if I can change my settings. Screen Q&A, capture, cameraman. Somehow I don't think. What's control? I can control you, John. There's a control room.
No!
It's madness. Hangout 2 bar. I think that's useless. Why they have it there, I don't know. This cameraman is. I hope I don't want this. What's going on? Broadcast settings. No, I don't want that. No. No, I'm already broadcasting. Yeah, no thank you. I want the Q&A back. But let me see about, what's this? I don't want a drawer app. I'm traditional, damn it. Well, you know what? Screw it. I guess, my settings are what they are. What's this? Add apps? No, that's probably trouble. That's fine. It's a fine. So I'm going to go with Q&A.
Okay, I shared it and I tagged you. What did you got to say about that?
Uh-oh, I got 2 notifications. What the hell?
Uh-huh. I warned you, brother.
I guess it's okay.
I'm also not entirely sure where I turned into Hulk Hogan suddenly, but I guess shouting brother at
I'm
people.
going to eat some food. Yeah. Well, you know, if I like actually did things on a regular schedule, more people would know. It's like when I first did the podcast, it was live, and um, you know, a lot of people were excited for the first episode, and since I continued every week at exactly the same day and exactly the same time for a long while initially, you know, people always showed up, and the crowd got bigger. But as soon as I dropped off the face of the earth and started changing the day and time, nobody
Yeah,
knew.
scheduling is everything. Like,
Yeah.
and I think part of that is just because the internet is so big and there's so much stuff on it. It's just anytime you can't be sure that everybody's ever going to get the note that this changed. So
Yeah. Unfortunately, finding one day and one time when all my friends can join me is impossible. You know.
I think you just gotta settle on one, and then somebody's gonna end up getting left out. But I mean, that's just how it ends up.
No. Let's see. All right, so that okay. That's good enough. I really got to change my desk around. Yeah, can I put it on what you're doing? What's that? What's that button? It says hide. You know, I click on your thing and it says hide from broadcast, profile, eject, or mute. Which one you want?
Say what now?
When I click on your picture, it says hide from broadcast, profile, eject, or mute.
Yeah, please don't mute me or kick me out. That would make me sad.
But maybe this is like fun graphics if I eject you.
Okay, Squirrel's trying to join in, but she doesn't know how, I think. Hopefully she'll be in a second.
Click this select button to answer a question. Oh. Okay. How do I answer? Done answering this question? No. Where do I answer? I got one viewer, my friend Paul Kijiji. Shoot. Well, I'm going to figure out how this works.
Well, if they're watching, I mean, you can just talk and answer too. That's.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Hey, Paul.
That's a possibility.
I think you're watching.
Hey, Paul, you rule. I don't know who you are, but you sound like good people.
Yeah, and June says have to install a plugin. Oh, well, you're talking to her. Is it on? I don't know how to join. Oh, wait. There we go. There's a Paul.
Hey.
Hey,
we
Paul.
can hear you.
I thought I'd take a break from what I should be doing, but I rarely get the chance to see you guys, so I thought I'd hang out for a bit.
Cool, man.
Should I throw in some headphones? Would that help?
I could hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Hey, it's a squirrel.
Hello. I'm on video. Wow.
Hey, June.
Hey.
You are on video.
I'm eating, so don't mind me.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I won't start getting hungry myself. That's fine.
Oh, that's better.
So
Yes,
Paul's all the way out in Australia.
Yeah, how you going? G'day.
Hello.
I feel like every Australian person has their real accent and then the fake American movie accent that they put on
yeah,
to point out that they're Australian.
we kind of have to. Otherwise, you don't understand what we're saying. You sound so normal. I don't get it.
How come you all don't sound like Crocodile Dundee?
and go hunting wildlife. Since everyone's got their Photoshop and various other things, I thought maybe I should do the same.
How do you do it?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
There's screen share. There's a button on the left.
Mm-hmm.
A green button with an arrow on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, cool. And I can select.
And you can select your.
Excellent. All right. What I might do is a new poster that I'm working on.
Cool.
And you might get to see my process right from the get-go. But, you're calling the shots, Pete, so I'll be nice and quiet.
Oh, well, this is a free-for-all. I will mention that I just posted a podcast that I did with our mutual friend, Steve Ogden.
Yes, it's on my playlist.
Yeah, so it went really good. He's intelligent guy, and he just has a different perspective, and really fun to talk with. So very proud of the episode.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I really wish him luck with his Dr. Magnifico. It's making me laugh.
Yeah. He just hit 25 strips today, and he's going to shoot for 100 and see where things are happening at that point. So. Nice.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about you,
It's not an episode until people have talked about me. I was wondering why my ears were burning.
Yeah, I try to do that every episode. No.
Let's see, what haven't we talked about? Oh, we haven't talked about Paul. Yeah, let's just...
Paul somewhere off in the distance. Hey, wait a minute.
Stop the car. Okay, I need to rip off... Yeah, everyone's going to be seeing my Facebook for a second. Or is it just Photoshop?
It's Photoshop, it looks like.
Good. Good. So you're not going to see everything that I'm pulling out here. Damn. All right. Because what I generally do, I want to let's see. Sometimes, even when I'm working on a poster of this size, what I do is I paste a reference that I've taken for like Instagram, and I know it's really low res and stuff, but actually centered looks really good. Yeah. That's A3. A3, let's see. I've got to convert this to inches for you guys. A3 in inches is 11.5 by about 16.5.
Okay.
Light year 11 by 16.
11 by 17 is the norm.
Yeah. So it's about that, and it's a really good poster size. I've got myself a portfolio that takes that size print because I've got 2 conventions coming up this year that I want to... I didn't do so well at the last convention I was at, sales-wise, even though they had record numbers through the door. And I really want to lift my game, and so I thought, like, if I have some really kick-ass posters, that could go a long way.
Right. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was at Emerald City Comic Con, and I kind of had the same thing. They had their biggest year ever, and I didn't get any of that. In fact, I had my worst year sales-wise ever. Yeah, so yeah. I think after next year's Emerald City, I'm just going to stick to smaller conventions for the foreseeable future. Because I did Spokane Comic Con last year, and that's a tiny little one-day thing, but I almost broke even that show, and that was weird.
Yeah, the small ones do really well. And I went to one recently that was sort of in the local area, just down south a bit, in a place called Wollongong, and they didn't charge me for the table, so everything I made, I sold about 10 books in 4 or 5 hours.
Holy cats.
This is a $20 price point, so there's, I don't know, I mean, people either decided to spend their money on me, which was really nice, but yeah, I barely did that each day, and it was a long, like 8-10 hour day at the other con where they had like 50,000 through the door, and I had to spend about, what was it, 175. I split the table, so I had a cost of about 175 to cover, which I barely did.
Yeah.
I've never covered the cost of anything.
I've got to at some point.
Eventually, someday.
Yeah.
I've done, I wouldn't say a ton, but I've done a lot of shows. I think my best show was I did Chicago years ago, probably maybe early 2000s. And I guess it was, at the time I was working on Aquaman or shortly after, probably at the time. And I was sitting next to Cal Fury, and I think that had everything to do with it. But I made in the hundreds above and beyond cost of show.
Yeah.
So I was happy.
This is like my favorite thing that happened this year at Emerald City is I was sitting next to Mark Tadine, who's a very popular Magic the Gathering artist, or he's a fantasy artist, and he's primarily known for that. And incidentally, if you ever have the opportunity to talk to him at a con, he is awesome. Like, he was the coolest person I've ever met. But like, it was. I mean, he was right there, and him being next to me actually hurt mine because nobody knows who I am. So generally, their eyes would linger at my table until they saw his table, and then would immediately move on. But he was selling these very, very nice art books that were like 25-year celebrations of Magic, and it was like a whole bunch of the original artists getting together. And this one lady stops by the table and sees this, and she's entranced, and she's like, "These wouldn't have to be $2, would they?" And he's like, "No, they're 25." She's like, "Well, all I have is $2," and I'm like watching this and kind of lean, and I mean, I don't think she meant it, but she was a little harsh about it. I'm overhearing this. I lean in, I tap my mini comics. I'm like, actually, these are $2. And she takes one look at my mini comics and just says, "I don't want that," and then goes back to looking back at the art. And it was just so matter of fact and everything. I'm like, I'm not even mad at that. That was funny.
All right, just go ahead and crush my dreams, lady. I didn't care.
I don't want that. Oh God, I was laughing for hours about that.
I did have someone stiff me on a commission. I was selling them cheap too. It was like $5. I get a quick sketch in pencil and ink. I can knock it out in like 5-10 minutes flat. And they went, "Oh, you're doing commissions? Yeah, how much are they? $5. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. What do you want?" This. "Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll draw it." And I sat there and they watched it. And then at the end of it, I said, "Cool. There you go." And they go, "Oh, actually, we don't have any money." And we got into this awkward silence, and I was like, "Are they going to not buy it? Should I give it to them?" And I ended up giving it to them, but they were kind of angry at me, almost like they were trying to guilt trip me because, "Oh well, now you've made us feel like assholes." We stiffed a starving artist on a commission, and you're giving it to us for free. I don't think, they took it.
I would have, if it was me, I probably would have given it to them, unless they guilt trip me. As soon as I get the sense they're trying to guilt trip me, it's like, no. Don't assume that I'm going to give this thing to you without money. I'm trying to pay my bills too, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do eventually want to, make a little bit on some of the cons, because comic book stores, they're ripping me off. Boy, hang on, is this going live?
Do you sell your books directly with them?
Yeah, I do, but I have to sell it at a loss because just because I'm using a local printer, and he sells at a certain price, but they can only buy it at a certain price to retail at a set price point.
Right.
And the thing is that here in Australia, it's a very small market, but we're competing on a world stage, even in the local comic book stores. Everybody wants the Marvel DC stuff, right?
Right.
So you have to speak to that audience. And there was this assumption when I was sort of getting into the whole convention gig that people would say, oh, your indie stuff, they'll pay more for indie stuff because they feel like they have to support the artists. But more and more, the indie creators that I hang out with, they're producing more and more commercial grade stuff. I mean, the printing is exquisite. The artwork is amazing. And if you tell someone that this is indie stuff, they're like, no, what? You're crazy, right? It's a compliment. But what that means is that you have to price it accordingly as well. And so if, like, the trade paperbacks from Marvel DC that are getting printed in China or whatever, they're getting on the shelves and they're $19.95, $20 or whatever, and your book is $30, $40, and it's less page count, it's an unknown artist, an unknown story, it's a no-win,
Yeah, that's why I did like everything on my con stuff, just based on what kind of price I could sell it at the end, and make sure that was a low enough price that people might actually just take a chance on it. Mm. But I mean that does have its drawbacks, because I'm going through Kablam instead of high-end printer that's going to give me ultra glossy high-res prints or that sort of thing.
I like Kablam. Oh, sorry. No, please.
No. Oh, I was just going to say that I did find a local printer that I ended up doing my mini comics and my prints through that do very nice work, and are priced reasonably enough that I was got the price per unit for each of the posters and each of the mini comics at under $1.
Oh, nice.
So that helped me out a lot. Didn't translate to any more sales, but
Mm. Yeah. No, I've come to the conclusion that at these conventions, especially when they've I just went to this one here called Supernova, and they brought Stan Lee out, and it was possibly the last time he'll ever come to Australia. I'm really hoping he's 91 or something, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he is 91.
Yeah,
I think he's not a young man.
No, to give you some idea, I mean, the guy was, they were doing 7-second turnarounds on his signed photographs.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
He was actually at the first Emerald City that I went to as just an attendee, and I got a book signed, and it was just, because, I mean, there was 10 million people wanting to get anything signed by Stan Lee.
Are you saying literally 10 million people?
No, not literally. I might have exaggerated slightly, but I mean, it was a room of the convention floor that was big enough that they expanded Artist Alley into it.
Yeah.
And it was probably half full, just of people in line to get their stuff signed by Stan Lee. Yeah. And it was a ticket that you had to pay for. I mean, people just want a taste of legend,
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's a brilliant way of putting it. So yeah, the ticket prices for the Stan Lee signed photo and all that sort of stuff was I don't know, There were estimates that were wildly ranging from like $90 right up to $250. And, you know,
Wow.
we're a small country and all that. And so fans are coming from interstate just to see Stan Lee at this one convention here in Sydney. They're forking out, let's just put it at an estimate of about $150 for that ticket. They get 3 days entry. You think they're going to drop by an artist alley table and actually have like pocket change and just go, oh, you know what? This looks interesting. I'm going to buy your book. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just I hope I'm not sounding too jaded. Maybe I need another coffee in.
No, you're speaking to me, man. You're speaking to me.
Okay.
Trust me. I've had a table the last 3 years, and it's been fun as hell, and I'm enjoying it. But financially, it's hurting me every year that Emerald City gets bigger. It's hurting me more because the bigger something gets, the less people are going to want to take a chance, and the more they're going to end up focusing on the people they know.
Yeah.
Because there's that many more people to keep track of.
They have reasons to come along, don't they? Like they got a shopping list. They go, oh, I'm going to get that signed by so and so, and I'm going to see that panel, and oh, I've got to buy that vinyl, whatever.
I think most of them do. I mean, they've got a budget, and they've got to kind of stick to it at some point. For a lot of people, it's going to be a vacation, so they can't go too far outside their budget. They're going to get stuck.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's what I do at conventions. Is basically, you have X amount of money. The top people that are going to be there. It's not something you do every day, so you're going to get 2 or 3 books from them, and then have dinner, and wherever you're staying costs money. Wherever you're going that night, it costs money. Mm-hmm. So you only have a couple bucks left over for. Oh, I'll buy a postcard, you Dave.
Yeah.
I always try and make it a point to. Hunt down people that I haven't met yet, or I don't know their work, or just if I'm walking through the aisles and see a name that I've never heard of, I want to stop by their booth and just see what they got, because I like supporting the indie guys, but I don't know that's a meme in the comics audience anymore. Not like it used to be in the 90s or whatever.
What, supporting an indie guy?
Yeah.
I'm getting onto it, Peter, I swear. What was I looking for? Yes, that's right.
Oh, you're talking about Patreon?
Yeah. I probably won't do one myself, just because I'm not going to be consistent over the next few months. There are some plans in the works that I won't be able to do like extra content, but I am looking at people to support, such as your fine self.
Cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah. How's it going, by the way?
I don't. I went over a couple of things at the beginning of the video, but I don't know how much you're keeping tabs on what I'm doing. But I quit the day job I had. I was going to apply to new job, but I sort of held out and finally had a conversation with my girlfriend yesterday, and we both decided that I'll hang in there for another week. If we see some positive results of that, then I'll stick with this full time. If not, then I'll just get a day job.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean like I have to make $2,000 by Tuesday, but it has to be some kind of movement.
Yeah.
So today, so far, I edited the podcast and posted that up. I edited a video I'll post up after the show is done. And, of course, I'm doing the show. This page I'll finish tomorrow. I got a Bright Eyes page I'll finish tomorrow and post those up. I'm just cranking for as much as I can.
Yeah. Oh,
and
I know the
see if anything comes of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm hoping this doesn't drop my feed. I'm about to open up Photo Booth to take a reference of my hand.
Uh-oh. Don't you know the most dangerous thing that an artist can say is, I hope?
Hey, it's worked so far. Let's just click that.
I believe in you!
Okay, that worked. You still there?
Yep, we're all still here.
Excellent. Did you all see that, or is it still just stuck on Photoshop?
It's stuck on your drawing of a close-up of a hand.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep, that's not what I wanted. I want to grab my screen grab.
I was
Hey,
about to say
June.
I can't. I was going to say I can't tell. I'm just kind of entranced by watching June's stuff.
What happened?
We're talking
Oh,
to
she's
you.
actually working.
I zoned.
Thanks for coming on, June.
I'm sorry I was late.
Oh, well, it took a while to get it started anyway. It doesn't matter.
Well, that's good planning then.
Yes. What are you saying?
We'll call it fashionably late.
Yes.
I wanted to say spoiler alert. I'm working two comics ahead here.
Cool.
I'm kind of fascinated by the line control. Like, you do a lot less what I call scritching than I do.
Scritching?
Yeah, I do a lot of very short strokes with my pen
Oh,
because I can't do like a long line and have it look anywhere decent. There's too much wobble and it looks all wrong.
What are you working on?
I'm working on tomorrow's page.
No, I mean Cintiq. What?
Oh, yeah. I've got my 21 UX.
That's what I'm using.
Bart? Actually, you were one of the people that inspired me to get it, you and Christy. Because you and Christy both got the 21 UX. And I was like, I want one. And
Is that a tablet?
Yeah, it's a computer monitor / tablet. It's
okay.
What is it, like 15 inches, I think? It's like a 15-inch high-def monitor.
Is that one of the cheap ones, like $2,000 or something?
Yeah, I think a new one. The one that I've got was like $1,500, but that's because new ones were on back order, so I got one off eBay, and I lucked out because the one that I got has done wonders for me. I've never had an issue with it, but they're actually not in production anymore. You can only get them used now. Wacom moved on to their next model, which is about the size of a table, and it is beautiful, and I want one and will never be able to afford it.
I want a companion.
Heard they're good.
Those things are great. I've heard. I want one.
Is that like a Doctor Who reference?
We all want companions. No, it's like a little tablet computer. Like it's like an iPad that's meant for, art programs.
Right.
It's got a stylus. It's got pressure sensitivity. It's got all that good stuff. So I kind of want one so that I can take it to work with me and then just be able to work on the comic during my breaks. Which is not a thing that I can. The 21 UX is a little big to be hauling around to work all the time. Need a backpack in a suitcase.
I might get a Sketchbook Pro.
I don't know the Sketchbook Pro.
Is that an actual item, or is that the program?
That's a program, right?
No, am I saying it wrong? Sketchbook Pro.
Sketchbook Pro is the one from Autodesk. It's the program that you can sketch in.
Maybe I'm just having a moment.
I got that on the iPad. It's actually not too bad. It's good to jot down ideas on, but the iPad doesn't really have pressure sensitivity.
You know what I'm using? My hand.
So now, how much did that set you back?
The technology is incredible. I think my mom and dad designed it.
Frig, I can't.
showed. I was showing some students yesterday a video of Joe Madeira, that artist.
Yeah,
Everyone familiar with him?
I am, but
Star Wars?
No, he did mainly X-Men, Darksiders.
I think June might be the odd one out here because I don't know if she reads the print comics.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I don't.
But
I probably know.
You probably know him personally.
Maybe.
But there he is, drawing this one of the most amazing pictures of death from Darksiders 2. And at the end of it, he just says that usual thing is this is a really crappy pencil. Don't anyone use this pencil. I really hate this picture. And it's the best thing that you've ever seen. And you're just you want to give up your illustration career forever because of the way that this guy's done it. And I'm just throwing my hands up, It's that false modesty is just so annoying.
I don't ever get upset at people for doing that because I don't know that it's always false modesty. I think I've known people get that really love my stuff, and I was just I've seen better. I'm not good.
But a good artist can do a sketch on toilet paper and make it look good.
Yeah, that's not really helping my argument here. I tried sketching on toilet paper once. It looked terrible. No, this year at Emerald City, because I was Mark Tadine was doing commissions, was working on commissions while he was sitting at the table and waiting for customers or whatever. And so here on, I'm gonna find a picture of it, and because he did a riff that he got commissioned for on one of his card arts. He did a version of this. It's on my screen here.
Wow.
There it is. He did a version of that on a playmat in Sharpie. No guidelines, no nothing. Just was just noodling on it for the first day and part of the second in Sharpie. I'm just what the hell is wrong with you? How does that happen? And he says he gets commissioned for that more often than anything else, and every single one is different. He had the one that he did had a second set of arms underneath the wings, but he didn't use guidelines or anything. He just busted out. I'm I don't understand how that happens.
Yeah. Well, some people can just... Yeah. No, some people know their anatomy so well. I mean, I've been scouring the net recently for stuff to show my students. I teach at a private college just casually, and one of the classes that I'm taking them through it deals with comic book art and how to do not only comics but storyboards and things of that nature. So I found this series online. I think it was called Comic Book Greats. Peter, I'm not sure if you've got that on video cassette. It's Stan Lee presenting.
Stan Lee?
Yeah. He's presenting stuff there's Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee and all those classic ones. It's from the early 90s.
So
I think
so when are the greats showing up in there? That was mean. I don't.
Okay, besides the fact that Rob Liefeld looks like the forbidden love child of Marky Mark and Matt Damon.
Now.
Wow.
He totally does, man. He's even got that.
I am never going to be able to unsee that now.
But that was like early 90s. I don't know what he looks like now. Maybe, I don't know, Nick Nolte. People get old. And he's got the New York accent. He's like, what you want to do, right, is you want to work in this, 17 by 11 inch, and you need this type of pencil, right? Because, and if you work for DC, everything comes for free. And he's like giving you all this advice and stuff. But Jim Lee comes in at the end, and 5 minutes of watching Jim Lee work, I knew more about superhero anatomy than I'd ever learned from doing, a year of life drawing. He's talking about, muscles are like footballs. They start here, they end here. And if you know your action line, blah, blah, and he's in 5 minutes, he's got this amazing sketch. You see why they're masters, because like they can get something down in pencil and marker that looks like ready to scan and digitally color, and my class was just like, whoa, this is the best thing we've ever seen. It was like, I don't know, it was just a little wake-up call to them.
Jim Lee is, like, I think in some ways he's kind of the quintessential modern superhero artist.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's got his faults as an artist, but at the same time, like, all of his characters have this, like, really powerful physique that's just amazing to look at every single time.
Yeah, everyone wants to draw the Jim Lee way. That's the problem,
Yeah, that's...
Well, in many ways, I'm not really following comics closely, and there's a lot of terrific artists now. But the day when, a penciler could be a big name and everybody knew him is long gone. And Jim Lee was one of the last ones, to really make a name for himself and able to reach everybody,
Because did he do work for Image as well as Marvel?
Well, he started Image.
Yeah, he was one of the
Image.
He was one of the founders. He did the thing, and I'm drawing a blank. What was his comic in that?
7. What?
I don't. I'm trying to remember which comic that he started with at Image, and I'm drawing a blank.
I want to say Wildstorm.
Yeah, because I want to say Gen 13, but he didn't. I'm not sure if he worked on that. I think that was more J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah, that was. I mean, he was the publisher of Gen 13, but that was like whoever made that was. I don't think that was his thing exactly.
I can't believe it. I'm blanking on it now, but I'm like focused on the show and drawing and other things.
Wildstorm, Stormwatch.
Well,
I'm looking this up. This is driving me nuts.
Yeah,
Google it. We've all got Google. Come on.
Wildstorm was his like arm of Image.
Yeah.
And Stormwatch was a comic in there, but I don't remember what he did. Wildcats. Wildcats was what it was.
Did that have Grifter in it? Was that?
Yes.
Yeah. Grifter and all the others.
That cover has not aged well.
Oh, them.
Just look at all that 90s there, guys. That's
I'd still buy it.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I like Jim Lee's work, so
Yeah.
I love Jim Lee's art. I need a good story with a comic. Like,
I mean, he had some great writers after his run and different artists. Travis Chavez, his work is amazing.
That dude is like scary good.
Yeah. But I forget who wrote it, but he had some good writers on there. it just, it went from going in one direction to going in another direction, so it kind of didn't hold together. But there was some really good issues in that.
Yeah, there's a whole I don't even know how to describe it. There's a whole school of thought for 90s comic storytelling that just doesn't appeal to me anymore. I don't know a better way to describe it, but without just doing the blanket 90s anti-hero complaint, which I don't think is useful, but there are some of to a lot of the superhero comics out of the 90s that just doesn't resonate with me anymore.
Yeah. It's sort of it's hard because I know exactly what you're talking about, but that's sort of where I entered into the comic collecting scene. That was sort of my teen years, high school, all that for me, and it's where I got introduced to. I didn't know Jim Lee from Jean-Gerard Mobius back then. It was, and those were the first comics that I'd gotten in touch with, other than my uncle's collection that were all these circa 1960s. Written by Stan Lee, penciled and inked by Jack Kirby, those ones, that are so iconic now. And it's always fun to see where the stories go. Back in the 60s and the 70s, people would die, and people would, bad guys would always be behind bars, and then they'd get out again, and you'd have to have Batman at the end of the issue just going, and I hope the Joker has learned his lesson, that sort of stuff. And nowadays, people just don't buy that anymore. But the 90s were making a real big deal about not killing villains, and, X-Men, we don't kill people. That's not what we do. That's not what we're about. And I sometimes found that was a bit on the nose.
Right.
Yeah, there's some people during that time, they saw Dark Knight, they read Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen, and Sandman were like, hey, we can deal with issues of morality, but then some of them had no idea how to do that.
Yes, yeah, that's right. But funny you bring those up. I remember that the 90s were big on that anti-hero thing. I'm only sort of getting this in retrospect. Sandman, that title Preacher, it's completely perverse, but he was an anti-hero. Who else was out there? Well, they had a spin-off of Sandman. It was Lucifer.
I've heard that is amazing, but I've never actually read it.
I read some of it. It's good.
I've read the first few issues, and it's hard to come out of the Sandman universe and say, well, really, we're just going to take this one minor character from the Sandman universe and blow him out as the main character. You sort of want the Neil Gaiman writing again. You want those exquisite stories that sort of take you down the garden path until the point where you're thinking, where the F is this going? And then he hits you with this one story that just brings it all in and just makes you think, wow, that is the best story ever. And I'm not sure if Lucifer did that, but what I did like is that they were really true to character, I mean, Lucifer is the Prince of Darkness, he's the Lord of Lies, and he's the hero in this, right? And so when he teams up with this girl who asks him for a particular request, she's got to find someone in the underworld or whatever, he takes her along, and then he leaves her stranded, and then she's a little like, but I thought we were a team. And he turns around and says, yeah, but I'm the devil. You're thinking, oh, yeah.
I will say that is exactly what I would expect Neil Gaiman's Lucifer to do, though.
Yeah. So it was really true to character, and I really enjoyed that about it,
Yeah. You mentioned Preacher. A couple things. I read the first trade shortly after it came out, and I liked it, but I was a different person back then, probably more innocent. I was like, this is too dark. It's giving me bad thoughts, and I couldn't read the rest of it at the time. But I heard that HBO was picking it up, possibly.
Yeah,
Maybe Seth Rogen or somebody like is producing it.
Yeah,
So it's
Seth
gonna
Rogen's
make the air one
producing
day.
so hopefully.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a good story. I mean, you don't read it because if you're fairly, I don't know, religious or whatever, because it is
Yeah.
very sacrilegious.
Yeah, I mean, it's Garth Ennis,
Yeah.
and I met him a bunch of times. He's like buddies with my brother, and he's like normal in real life. But
here's the thing. I actually would expect nothing less because nobody who writes stuff that screwed up could be anything but completely normal.
Yeah. Because if you're not writing it,
you can't write that well and dealing with stuff that messed up unless you actually have your head exactly on straight.
Yeah.
But Preacher has got some classic lines. I mean, I love bits where you get this. I've only read the first 3 trades. I've got to get the rest off my friend.
The rest are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
You read the
But
whole
I
thing?
love when Jesus God shows up to Preacher's girlfriend, and she tries to test him. She's like, I forgot what she says to him, but you sort of see this golden finger pointed in screen, and he goes, "Just remember, I am a loving God, but don't push me." I thought that was such a great line.
There's I love Enos's whole knack for dialogue. The dude just writes amazing conversations and great lines that just floor you when you're reading them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did like so many Punisher stories. There's certain books he's suited for, and in certain books he's just like, that's okay. But
I will read anything. I will read any of his that's a war story, and if
right.
I don't even know how you would have. I don't even know how you would, because for the most part he hates superheroes. But if you got him on if you got him on Spider-Man or something, no, I'd never read that. There's no way in hell. That would be a farce.
Yeah. I read a lot of the boys. I guess like what initially came out before some other publisher took it or whatever happened. That was crazy. That was him doing superheroes his way, and
I think it says a lot about me that I love a good superhero yarn, and I love the boys a lot.
Yeah.
I've got that on my shelf. It's on my to-read list.
Did you read more of it than I did?
I actually read everything except the finale, the very last couple issues. A friend of mine lent them to me, and they are absolutely insane. But the mockery of the superhero genre is so on point.
Okay, I've got to read it for that then.
My absolute favorite. There is a book that just straight up is making fun of the X-Men, and their knockoff of Wolverine is the most hilarious. He's called the knockoff of Wolverine is called Groundhawk, and both of his hands have been replaced by hammers, and the only dialogue he has is gonna. He never says what he's going to do, but he just repeats "gonna" like he's going to go off the handle and do it.
Nice.
It's ridiculous. I don't know. It's so funny in a completely forceful way. But
so nobody noticed I finished my strip. I think I have to figure out stuff, and because I'm not a tight penciler, Yeah, I'll show you guys. I'm not the tightest of pencilers, if you can see. It's kind of light, but I go in and tighten it up with the inks, and I got to figure some stuff out because I sort of it's essentially it's going down beneath the ground, and I want to give a glimpse of essentially an elevator going down to what comes next. So it's kind of like it's this like spy guy goes to like a gas station out in the middle of nowhere, and it's kind of like Nick Fury going to the barber shop. And he goes yeah, it goes below ground, and it's the Shield headquarters down below.
I love that the barbershop still, like, this is a completely off topic, but I love that the barbershop still shows up from time to time.
In the comics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, every once, like, what was the last one where I saw it? In some issue of Avengers, like, Fury was going underground and then went to the barbershop and went underground. I'm like, oh, like, wow, that's there. Somebody appreciates that barbershop like I do.
I totally did. I mean, I love that stuff. I read Shield and Captain America and all that stuff way back when. Like when Jim Stranko was doing it, Neil Adams and whoever else. This stuff was amazing. And this is just the latest page of Bright Eyes. The two biggest things I'm going to be doing, hopefully I'll be known for eventually, are Bright Eyes, and eventually I'll get to Retro. Retro will be my superhero. Bright Eyes is more like a bad girl independent comic story. And Bright Eyes is, it's online as a webcomic, and eventually I'm going to be doing a page a week, posting a page a week, and really get into the production of it. But I just got Manga Studio 5, so I could do lettering and word balloons now, and eventually I'll figure out coloring like all you guys and do that digitally.
Yeah, I'm still. I converted to Photoshop. I was using GIMP, but it just got. I mean, I love my open source software, but there were just some things that it just couldn't handle, and the layout is just so shocking. The screens are all very chunky. You can't dock anything. I haven't seen the latest version, and so yeah, I needed Photoshop for work anyway, and it's sort of like the Mac Daddy, and I'm able to do everything I need to digitally in it. This poster's probably going to come out nice.
That's pretty.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that.
Is it working? Maybe her foot might be a bit twisted. I might have to redo that. But, yeah, like this whole area here.
I don't think you need to adjust more than a couple lines. The really exaggerated anatomy kind of hides it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, the face really has to be what gets drawn in, and the fist obviously is hiding a lot of stuff. And put in
But
these
it
bandages
has like a funky, I don't know, 60s effect to it. Throw down some wild colors and get a dot matrix kind of comic book background or something. I don't know.
Yeah, some. I think they call them halftone, or is that different now? Are you talking about something completely different?
Halftones, I think, are just what they call zip tones now, but I'm not sure.
Right.
Probably.
I'm not.
But I think there's a specific name to. I mean, maybe halftones is the term more people use for whatchamacallit, the comic graphic effect with just the dots and stuff.
Yeah, you throw that on as a texture in Manga Studio. I used it a couple of times. I really admire people who can use it. I really do. I've not been able to get into it myself. I found that it's almost like working in several Photoshop documents at once, which might be a good thing. Or maybe I just haven't got my setup right. I tend to work very, very simply, if you know what I mean. You know, one step up from analog, where all you got is a sheet of paper and your pencils to tell the story. Photoshop, okay, so you can do a few things with layers, but I don't get too crazy.
I think there's a lot to be said for working simply, honestly.
All right, somebody asked a question in the Q&A portion. Answer to the question. Selecting question. I don't know where to... Oh, I guess... Okay. Hey, Jimmy. This is me answering your question. You know, I keep expecting to type into it. So he says, how much longer will we be broadcasting? How much longer are you guys down for? Another 20 minutes?
I can do another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, another 20 minutes, Jimmy. Thanks for your question.
I don't know why that struck me as so funny, but that was amazing.
Well, you know, Jimmy, when I started in this career, it just naturally leads itself into the time drive about work, doesn't it?
But, you know, thank you all for coming on. It's just, you know, really awesome to see you all working on your projects. And, you know, I guess I'm the only traditional guy, but...
that I can't speak for the others, but that just means I'm jealous of you.
No, you can speak for me there.
Especially the inking. Like, when I draw traditionally, I draw with pencil, and I'm very, very comfortable with it, and I can do some decent stuff with it. But traditional inking, to me, just comes from the devil. That is black magic. It isn't natural.
Well, it's, you know, it doesn't sound like you have the best control working digitally. You definitely have to have hand control when you're inking.
Well, I think part of the reason that I work like that digitally is just because that's how I've always done it. You know, when I was working on, you know, even when I'm working pencils or whatever, I always did the short strokes, and that's just how I learned to do it. But that is not a technique that is good for working with a brush. It does not work.
I thought you were going to say when you were young, you used to, you know, draw on a TV with a marker, and that was working digital.
Who hasn't, you know, traced the Little Mermaid off the TV? Did I go to a weird place here? Maybe I did.
Slightly. You know, it's okay. We don't judge. We don't judge. Much.
So Jimmy asked again. Well, he, you know, comments. Thanks, guys. Yeah, just wished I'd tune in from the start. Well, you can watch it from the start. It's on YouTube right now. You know, go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/user/Peter Palmiotti, and look for Studio Synergy 4 in the videos. And you can watch it from the start, even though it's live at the moment. You can just backtrack with their modern system. So I don't know if that's fireworks outside or my cats are beating each other up on the other side of the wall. But I'm hearing noises.
The pets are attempting to murder each other. We're just sitting here.
Yeah, hey, I can't, you know, go see what's happening until after the show. You know.
Priorities, man, priorities.
Right.
Women's fingernails, man. That's the hard thing.
They're different.
That's the... Well, I like how some people do them. Joe Madeira, again, he does the best. You can tell his... let's see. The easiest way I can say, you can tell his man hands from his lady hands. No, but it's the fingernails. It's the fingernails. Like, they don't have to be painted or anything. Usually the cheat is, okay, I'm just going to paint the nails here, and that's a lady's hand. But, like, he's got a style that he can draw a female hand, and you know it's a female hand. It's a strong female hand. It's a, you know, a more kind of, I don't know, desk job kind of female hand. But he's got this style, and you can tell. It's all in the way he draws his nails, and I think I've got to pull up some references just to see what he's about here.
If you like Joe Madeira, it's an old friend of mine, John Boy Meyer, who is a comic book artist, as well as he's done magic cards art. His style is kind of similar, and it's just he's really good at drawing. It's like cartoony people, exaggerated, but they're really, really nice. You know, he's really good. He's gotten so great over the years. Because I knew him early in his career, and he was great back then. But, you know, I just love his stuff, and he's somebody to look at. Because he, you know, even if you don't mimic his style exactly, you know, he's good at separation and breaking things down a bit in his, you know, where you could see it in his work. As opposed to some artists where, man, that's gorgeous, but like you have no clue where to even start.
Yeah. I know, it's what I liked about some videos that I've been seeing recently, when you see people's technique and they talk you through it, it does demystify it a bit, because have we all seen those joke art lessons that go around? It's like how to draw a head, and they go, step 1, draw a circle, and then, you know, step 2, draw the rest of the effing head, and it's like this Rembrandt.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of art's like that. You know?
I saw one the other day that just like spoke to me. It's like how to draw a bunny, and it says, you know, draw 2 circles. Step 2, continue drawing for the next 42 years of your life while you learn that, until you can draw a goddamn bunny. And it shows the guy like, you know, crying to himself as he's sitting amongst mountains of paper.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much my life. Just, you know, more with people and monsters and bunnies, but, you know, it's a metaphor. I think I may have over-explained the joke.
Maybe. Yeah. There was a cartoon that I would open up a couple of talks that I would give at local libraries with, and it was this wonderful cartoon about, you know, the life cycle of an aspiring artist, and oh man, my drawing is looking a little bit too Joe Mad. I think I've got to knock it back into my style a bit, especially a face here. People are we've change of tack. We've had this artist recently, a local artist who has been busted ripping off other people's work.
Yeah, we've had some guy in America like that.
That's
well. I would sort of expect with the amount of artists going to alleys in America, at some point you're going to get someone. We could probably count the amount of artists that are working currently now in Australia, even that turn up to these alleys. And so that just to have one is a pretty big deal. And a lot of people have jumped on him. Like, he's tried to show his work, but it's almost as if you've taken a photo reference and traced over it just the basic lines and then taken away the photo reference. It's that obvious. But anyway, I digress. What was I getting to? Yes, this cartoon about the life of an aspiring artist. You know, the first portfolios you take to these portfolio sessions at the comic conventions, and the person just going, meh, and the artist sort of like breaking down in tears, just going, I'll never amount to anything. And then they turn around, they're like, no, I must try harder. And then years at it, they're drawing, and they turn up to a convention and give it to the portfolio review again, and the person says something like, I think your work's passable. And he walks away and he's triumphant. Wow, this is amazing. In a few years, if I keep at it, I can be a somewhat adequate, passable artist. And that's his goal. And then the last frame is just like R.I.P. passable artist. And that's how I begin my talk.
Yes.
Hey, don't sugarcoat the truth, man. That's reminds me of a thing that I always like to bring up, because I mean I like to make fun of Rob Liefeld because he's easy to make fun of in every possible way. But he did say the single best thing I've ever heard about, especially trying to get into the comics industry, but I think it applies to like everything, all kinds of art. Where he said, how did he put it? It's like, if you were to come across a magic lamp and find a genie in the desert, and this genie told you with all the certainty of, omniscience that you would never make it as an artist, would you still do it? Because that's what you need. Because that's the attitude you need to have. that you will do it, even if the possibilities, or even if there's a certainty that you'll never get the fame and the fortune.
Oh, so his point was do it anyway.
And then he went off and drew Youngblood, so I mean, take that for what it's worth. But
okay, you just had to get that dig in, didn't you?
I had to.
He's making more money than all of us combined. So,
I know.
Yeah. So he can take it.
So yeah. You know what I want to do right now? I want to promote each and every one of you as you show up on my screen. So John, you're first.
I am.
You're on screen. This is
okay.
your work. Go.
Let me since it's on screen, let me zoom out and give everybody the bigger page here. I'm John Grosecki. I go by Zombirai on the internets. I draw the urban fantasy, horror, crime, action comic, Everyday Abnormal. And it's got a lady changing on here, so check that out. I'm still working on my pitch, so maybe we should just.
Close, ladies. I'm there.
Yeah, sometimes there's gunfights and there's magic, and sometimes there's a boob.
Yes, it's very well written. It's not always sexy.
Actually, it's pretty rarely sexy. Even I've got the chick in the underwear here, and she's like got scars from having been in a ton of gunfights and sword fights in her life. So I'm always trying to like keep it plausible and not objectify people. That's. But I think I might stick with that tagline. No, there's gunfights and magic and monsters, and sometimes there's a boob.
Yeah.
That's all he'd need to sell me. If I was walking past an artist alley table and I heard that, I'd be like, "Yeah, right." You ever find, John, that it's sort of like a good pickup line?
I should start thinking of it like that because I'm always trying to get that, trying to get them to my table.
Yeah, it's not that cheesy, the cheesy pickup line at Stowe. Do you come to conventions often? No, you give them a pitch that is interesting, that is disarming, and may not necessarily pitch a story. Sometimes you make a sale of that because they look at you and they just go, "Hey, you know what? There's something to you. I don't know what it is, but I want to find out."
Well, I think you just sold me on using that as my pitch.
Well, we have an opportunity here. I don't think John and Paul. I don't think you guys knew each other previously. Maybe.
No, this is my first time meeting Paul.
Yeah. So, Paul, are you sold on John's strip?
I want to find out more about what he does, but I was looking at his work and I'm thinking this kind of looks, it's pretty tight. I don't know what the story is, but yeah, I'm going to look this up.
The thing is that it's hard to find a pitch because like everything goes into this comic.
Mm-hmm.
June actually did the art for the previous chapter of the comic, and it's a very lighthearted, big adventure with one of the characters and her childhood friendship with the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
But the second chapter of the comic was an extremely bloody fight between zombies and soldiers. So I mean, it's kind of hard to cover all the bases on what the comic is without leaving something out.
Right. Yeah. Pictures are hard.
But yeah, I always try and I am like trying to say something about the human condition with a story, and how I do that is told over several chapters. So seeing any one or two of the chapters, you're not really seeing where I'd be going with it. Yeah. So it's tough. I'm always, the pitch is the tough thing because I hate selling myself.
Well, I hate zombies too.
Yes.
All right, so next on my screen is Paul, and we're on Paul's screen. So Paul, tell us who you are and then pitch away.
Okay, my name is Paul. I'm a Sydney-based freelance everything, and right now I'm illustrating a comic called Pandia. I thought I'd bring up the front cover there to show people. It's a sci-fi action adventure set in the future with a destroyed moon and new civilizations, and the heroes are trying to discover what happened to the moon as a civil war is brewing and is about to erupt. And so that's sort of basically the elevator pitch. That's some of the artwork. And I've been working on a poster here for one of the characters because I'm of the mind that I think I need my booths at cons to be more attractive, more dynamic. And what I've noticed is very successful is booths that show a little bit about what the story's about, but also have very attractive artwork, big posters, bold colors, something that you can see from the other side of the room. And so that's what I'm going for.
Oh, I look forward to seeing them completed, definitely.
Yeah. Should I say who this is, or?
Go ahead, yeah.
So this is a character who I've just introduced at the end of book 1 called Bilquis, and she's a librarian ninja. That's the best way to describe it.
Now I'm sold.
You're going to have to get through 5 pages of filler before you get to her, unfortunately.
I'm okay with context. I'm fine with that, but I just want to know where the librarian ninja shows up. That's.
Oh yeah. And she's got this massive mutant beast that she rides around on, and so yeah, can't wait to do more with her. So yeah, she's one of my kind of action-y characters, but she's going to be kind of pivotal to the overall story. She's going to be appearing in at least the 2 following books, if not the rest. And I'm really interested with how she has developed. I've done a lot of concept work on her, but I've sort of stuck to this kind of harem pants, desert boots, scarf thing, and headband, this crazy dreadlock pointy hair and bandaged fists type thing. And she's got this ritual scarring, which won't be seen in the inks, but will be in the colors. And that's sort of important to her character as well. So can't wait to finish this poster because this is going to be fairly dynamic. I do have one of my more stock characters. She's the hero's daughter. She's sort of like who's that mechanic character in Firefly? Is it Haley?
Kaylee.
Kaylee, yeah, she's sort of like a Kaylee character. She's good with tools and can sort of fix computers on the fly and stuff like that. But she's also pretty kick-ass. Does a lot of kickboxing type scenes and tries to get what she wants. But she's a hothead, and so yeah, posters like this are going to be adorning my next stands. But I'll back off and let someone else have the mic for a bit.
All right, we'll switch over to June, who's currently feeding zombies.
Okay, this is not fair because I'm just the artist. I don't actually use words.
Well, just tell us what you did then.
Me and my husband, we worked together on this comic called The Other Gray Meat. Some of you may know of it. And basically, we're just wrapping up things now. We finished a while ago. I think it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And we're just coming back in with an epilogue story now just to tie up all of our loose ends. And so far as a pitch, the best pitch I ever got for Togum would be softcore zombie porn. And it's just kind of
Sold!
stuff.
That is amazing.
With the picture I'm drawing right now, you could totally believe it. But that's not really it at all. It's, how would you describe it? It's, okay, zombies have happened, post-zombie apocalypse. All of the humans are dead. They've been eaten. It's all zombies now. Some of them are smart, and they basically are living their lives, trying to figure out, you know, what they are going to do with the rest of their lives. What else? And then basically, there's a human amongst them. Finds himself amongst them, and that's how the whole comic starts. And
I would say it's hilarious a lot of the times. The artwork is gorgeous, and it's an extremely fun read.
Yeah, it was for as long as it lasted. It was one of my very favorite comics anywhere, online or off. And when it ended, I was very, very sad.
wow.
And then the epilogue happened, and then I was very, very happy.
And how many pages is it? It's gone on for a long time. You have like tons of pages.
I don't even know. We were in the 300s, and the way this epilogue is going, we keep packing on more and more. We started with 10 pages. I think we're now at like 17. So we may go to the full 30 by the end of it. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, it's a hefty book.
And I just want to say that our next project, some of you may know of it, is called Fuss and Shush. And it's going to be based on a whole bunch of fairy tales mixed together with my husband telling, you know, his own twists on these fairy tales. Not Disney at all, just fairy tales. And I'm really looking forward to that one.
It should be very interesting.
I kind of mentioned it before. She also did the guest work on my comic Everyday Abnormal for a chapter, and it was amazing. Like
Stop plugging your book.
Sorry, I'm more plugging her art because it deserves the plug.
Yes, it does.
She's never worked on Pandea, but no.
Rectify that.
I saw the bandwagon.
It's a big bandwagon. So, we can all get on.
Before I get to me, you know, essentially, if you're watching this, you know who I am, but I'll get to me in a moment. Paul, what size resolution are you working with to get that to a poster size, or does it not matter to the printer?
It matters to the printer. I am working at 300 DPI, and the poster size is what I showed before in the inches, which is, let's see, image size here, about 11 by 17, something like that. 11.6 by 16.5 inches at 300 DPI. He'll accept 150, and it actually looks pretty good. Because I'm working on 300, even on my pages, which is standard comic book size, he blows those up to this size for poster, and they still look really crisp and clear. But, you know, I sort of wouldn't dip below 150. It really does depend on the printer. You know, some people will insist that you have to get it at the right resolution.
Right.
Yeah. It's always a bit of a sticky one, but like you work at a good resolution, and then you can get some really great effects with brushes and things. You know, you can work really close up, and it looks really good.
Okay, cool. I think we answered Jim's questions. Thank you, Jim, for answering questions. We got 2 viewers currently.
And we love you guys.
And we love each and every one of yous. All right, so I'm just gonna do this really quick. Let's see. This is I'm Peter Palmiotti. I've been working on comics since 1991. Mostly as an anchor, now doing everything. This is my strip, Neon Eden. That's sort of the cover. This was the credits page without the lettering. I want to sort of do like that funky advertising kind of feel to it. Just have a random hand pointing to nothing on the credits page. And then that was page 1, car coming out of nowhere. And he goes to the gas station. This old guy says hello and a salute. And this is the. Actually, I should put it on big screen, but my resolution for some reason isn't that great. And plus, everything's backwards. So, but anyway, that's what I penciled here today. Like I mentioned, webcomic Bright Eyes. This is the first page that I inked up. Yeah, to me the resolution looks horrible, but regardless, you can go to brightheyecomic.com or something to that effect. I'll post it in the description. I'll post the links for everybody here. But this was the newest page I penciled up. I started barely inking, 8 on the bottom. I'll finish that soon. Post up this page 2 of Bright Eyes, and strip 3 of Neon Eden. Even though I call them pages. I'm working on a ton of other things. I do a podcast, Independent Road. I do YouTube videos. I'm going to be doing a lot more. And art, and I got a store, and I got an eBay and Etsy, and I got to get everything in sync. But I know you all love me, so there you go.
It's only because you're lovable.
Aww.
We sing now?
Yes, we sing the Studio Synergy outro song. 1, 2, no.
Have a few bars, I'm sure.
I'm gonna try and fake this. I don't know any of the lyrics.
Well, let's. I'll take a couple of minutes if there wasn't anything that we covered that you might want to talk about. I'm open. Otherwise, we can close down shop. We gave them a meaty show tonight, and I will be doing this again. So, was that?
I hope I wasn't too jaded.
No. It's good having different viewpoints. So it was great having you on. You're a blast.
Jeez, man.
No, this has been a lot of fun. I
think John's more jaded.
You know what? I'm just a bitter little human. It's okay. I'm comfortable with the fact that I'm jaded.
But seriously, anything you want to just put out there in public, or now's the opportunity?
Other than the fact that this was actually a lot of fun, I love. One of my favorite things is just watching artists kind of ply their trade. So being able to do that and meet and talk to some cool people, and nice.
Yeah, this is sort of an impromptu thing for me. I don't usually get the chance to schedule anything these days, but I was going to be drawing anyway, so to just jump on screen and have a chat to people while drawing, totally cool.
All right, so as of right now, I don't have a schedule in mind, but I may try a week from now, the same night, and see how that goes. I'll let people know ahead of time this time around. But yeah, so Thursday night, 8 p.m. next week. I'll start up the event soon, so it will be there in place way ahead of time. And anybody, any artists out there, professional or amateur or wannabe artists, you're welcome to come join, and we can just talk craft and process, and you don't even have to feel obligated to draw, but that is a cool aspect of what this is all about. So thank you all for being a part of it.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Cool. All right. So this is it, everybody. Come back next time, and I'll talk to you all very soon.